Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave that much to mar me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now I don't blame him cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. And I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out A Boy Named Sue, one of my all-time favourite Johnny Cash songs. Such a great story in this one. A really good song for beginners because it's only got A, D and E chords in it, but there's a little bit more for more advanced guitar players. You want to get into a bit of alternating bass action. You know, don't have to do that as a beginner. So it's a real nice kind of grower. You can take it as far or as little as you want. Now, the original recording, if you're going for the San Quentin one, you're going to need to put a capo on the first fret, but most of the other recordings are just played in regular open position. So I'm going to do this one without a capo, but remember, if you want to play with Johnny for the actual San Quentin one, you need to put your capo or capo on the first fret. So let's start off with the chord progression because it is incredibly simple and it's the same pretty much all of the way through. It's a bar of A, a bar of D, a bar of E, and back to a bar of A. Okay, that's it. It's a 4-bar sequence. Of course, we get 2 bars of A in a row there, the last bar and the first bar, so it feels a little longer on the A. But the sequence is A, D, E, A, all of the way through. Recommend that you start off literally just strumming that. Use your thumb or your pick, just down strums on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the E chord. 2, 3, 4, and back to A. 2, 3, 4, and again A. 2, 3, 4, and then to D, 2, 3, 4 to E, 2, 3, 4, and then to A, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to sing through with the lyrics and insert the chords into it, partly because I think it's funny, but as well you'll see where the chords fit in. It's a very long song. I'll just do the first little chunk for you. So we're starting on the A. Well, my A chord left home when I was 3, and then a D chord, he didn't leave much to mar me. Just this E chord and an empty bottle of A. 2, 3, second bar of A. Now A don't blame him cause he run and hid, but the D chord thing that he ever did was an E chord he left and he went and named me A. 2, 3, 4. Well, A chord thought it was quite a joke, and D, it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks, and E, seems I had to fight my whole life through to A. 2, 3, 4. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, some D chord would laugh and I'd bust his head, and our E chord, life ain't easy for a boy named A chord. Now, the thing with a song like this is that there's not such a set rhythm. It's a bit more kind of telling the story over some chords. So what we call the phrasing, the rhythm of the words, can be a little bit different here. So I think the Johnny Cash approach is putting the word daddy on the beat. So, well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to mar me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. But we could leave it a lot later than that. So here's beat 1. My daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to mar me. Just his old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Or you could extend them all. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to mar me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. So that's, I'm playing with the phrasing there. The important thing is keeping the rhythm consistent. And if you can't keep the rhythm consistent there, just like strumming on the beat, you definitely don't want to go starting to do anything more fancy. Unless somebody else is singing, in which case you can think a bit more about what you're doing and leave the singing to someone else. So there are lots of different approaches to playing the rhythm for this song. As a starting point, you definitely want to be doing the 4 down strums to the bar because it's easier. But But you could be using lots of different strumming patterns, and because the song is so simple, it's kind of a nice one to try out some other strumming patterns if you learn like Old Faithful, down, down, up, down. So down, down, up, down, 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 up. We do twice actually in this song. I don't want to get into how I'm counting it because that might get a little bit confusing for any beginners. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3 and he didn't leave much to mar me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Down, down, up, down. You could really experiment with the patterns, and you could approach playing it lots of different ways. You can definitely get fancy on this one too, which is kind of what we're about to do now. The approach that I feel works best for this style is playing the bass note and then a little chord. So I'm going to play an A chord down. I'm going to use my thumb to play the bass note, which is the note A. In this case, it's on the 5th string. And then I'm going to use my first finger to do a little down strum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You definitely want to get used to doing that first of all before you even think about trying to play it in a song. Just get used to the feeling of playing the bass note and then this little flick with the first finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Don't worry about anything else, just get used to it on one chord. Once you feel happy with the A chord, try the D chord. Now D chord, same thing, except thumb moves over to the 4th string. Spend a bit of time on the D chord, just getting used to that. When you feel hip with that, go to the E, which is the same, but now we're playing the thicker string. Now, I'd really recommend a little bit of time on each of the chords individually, get used to what they feel like, then have a go at changing A, D, E, A. A, D, E, A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A. My daddy left home when I was 3 and he didn't leave much to mar me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Okay, so just having this bass note and then the chord straight away changes up the feel, I think, in a very nice way. If you want to get that next step up, we want to alternate the bass note, which really has that super country vibe here. So on the A chord, we play the A bass note, chord, then the E bass note, the thicker string, and then the A again. E, A, E, A, E. Now one thing I'm doing here is I'm letting my hand touch the strings in between, so I'm going A. Now as I'm doing this flick with the first finger, my palm is coming down to mute the A. E, A. If I take away the chord, you can hear that the hand is muting. E, mute, A, mute, E. So you get used to this kind of coming down with the hand and at the same time doing the little flick with the first finger. Now, once you've got the idea of that, a real fun thing is to move the hand forward a little bit more over the sound hole. Do the same thing. And can you hear that when my hand is touching on the strings now, I'm getting this click. It's giving us a nice little backbeat. Now if we do that in conjunction with the chord, you get a real nice kind of percussive hit there with the chord at the same time. Keeps the bass nice and tight. D. So on the A chord, the thumb is playing the 5th string, then the thicker string. 5th string, 6th string, Then the D goes 4th string, 5th string, 4th string, 5th string, then to E, thicker string, 5th string. Again, this is the kind of thing you want to really work on this nice and slow, getting it to feel good. Probably won't happen straight away. You'll go through, well, most people go through a little period when they're learning a new technique like this, where it just feels awkward. You stumble occasionally and go, the rhythm will get a little bit wonky. The key with these things is one, practice, obviously. So you have to, the repetition is really good for you, but then trying to kind of relax into it a little bit. So as soon as you've got the kind of the mechanics right, just try and just relax and see if you can get this note. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave that much to mar me. Just his old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Let me just do a little close-up one round of that so you can see how my hands go, and I'll do a couple of different versions. So just the one bass note. This will be the first thing that you want to check out, just the bass and the first finger flick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then trying to get the alternating bass. So A, E, A, E, D, A bass note, D, A, E, B, which is on the 5th string, A, 5th string, 6th string, 5, 6. If you want to get the hit, so there you have A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. I really hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you're a beginner, keep it simple. Don't go spending loads of time trying to do the complicated alternating bass thing. Plenty of time for that further down the line. This is a nice grower, so learn it easy early on. Then as you get better, you can add more things into it. It's really cool when you find songs like that to add to your repertoire. If you're over on YouTube, I really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, slap me a like, and let me know in the comments what other Johnny Cash songs you'd like me to check out, and I'll see what I can do. Hope you're having yourself a splendid day. I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You'll take care of yourselves. Bye bye.